For the initial welcome, I will give the floor to Professor Bassett, that is the Lifewatch Service Center Director and also member of the Lifewatch Executive Board. Please, Alberto.
Thank you so much, Nicola. It just a welcome, and then I was expected to give you the welcome to Lecce, to the service center, and to this winter school event. So both to the teacher, the lecturer, and to the student. Well, it's just a welcome online, but you got, I think, a mug with 3 keys. And then one key was the key of the town. Then you can keep it and use next time when we hope you are going to have you in Lecce. The other key is the key of the service center that is also you can use. So we are actually inviting you to be here for a physical summer school or winter school soon. And the third one is the key for the field of science you are interested in this winter school. So you will use surely these days, and I am sure that you will enjoy a lot, because you will find out a lot of deep knowledge and interesting issue on this the data fairness aspect that I'm sure are going to be extremely interesting for all of you. I am an ecologist as a background, and then we actually I'm really realized that we need to have a new generation of scientists, the new generation of scientists that can use the ICT facility and the web facility in order to improve and to their research activity and to use in a much better way the data that are already available. So just a welcome, and hope that you will take advantage of the summer school. And we are waiting for you in Lecce in the next section, so that you can make a copy of the key of the town and of the key of the service center, and bring some good chocolate, and then keep the copy then to open the town when you will be here. So welcome to Lecce virtually.
Okay, thank you, Alberto. Behind this winter school, there is a lot of work done by a very big group, international big group. Also, we will introduce step by step all the people involved. Just to say now the name of Maggie and Jaco, that are co-coordinator with me in the ENVRI Fair project, but there are also other people that we will discover step by step. And I would like to thank you all for the effort that we did in the all together in the organization. So we can start this session with this year, due to the COVID-19 situation, we opted to organize for a winter school online in a virtual Lecce. This year, the challenge is to be effective, also working remotely. We are proposing an innovative approach based on different kinds of activities, also social, in order to improve the networking and the cooperative learning. Let's start from the origin, just a little history of the summer and the winter school organized by ENVRI in the context of the ENVRI Plus before and ENVRI Fair after projects, but also with the support of the Lifewatch infrastructure. We started with a first edition of the summer school that was held in the context of the ENVRI Plus project as a first training event that was coordinated by me and Professor Jiming Zhao. The International Summer School, the first edition was on data management in the environmental and art science infrastructures. The course was built on a 5-day summer school, providing a unique insight into the contemporary debate on data management in the environmental and art science. We selected in the first edition 22 students, 16 coming from research infrastructure staff and 8 PhD students. In 2019, we held the second edition of this kind of school. In this year, the course was focused on the specific data fairness phases in the environmental and art sciences. We talked about data management and how to be fundable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable, so following the FAIR principles. This edition was very participated, 25 participants coming from different parts of the Europe, Belgium, Estonia, France, Greece, Italy, Netherlands, and so on. And we are now, today, we are starting the third edition with that is focused on the ENVRI resources and in particular on the access and discoverability. We selected 33 students, 18 coming from different research infrastructure, but also technical staff of research and university. And we have also 15 PhD and master students. I will give the floor now to Lucia, that will show just a very first movie to introduce our virtual lecture, and will introduce which will be the methodology and approach during all the winter school. Lucia,
Thank you. Hello everyone, and welcome to the winter school, to the ENVRI Community Winter School. Let's start the video.
Originally, we proposed this event in the context of the ENVRI Plus project as a training event. And after the first event, we found this summer school actually can serve a much broader community.
Being a GIS and remote sensing specialist and working in the field of ecology, I always have to deal with a lot of data, and mainly big data. And very often, like, we have our data scattered everywhere. And so when I saw the announcement about this summer school, I thought it was a very good opportunity to come and learn about data management in order to be a bit more organized in how I handle my data.
What does it mean by fairness in this data management process? And that curiosity actually led me to apply for the course. And yeah, when I was in the course, I really felt that it's a big thing because it's more than my expectations.
Honestly, I think that in the research community, we have to understand this because it's very important. I think it's becoming more and more important that we are honest and that we can share our data properly so that the other can actually understand it and use it.
I think it will be a great experience to work what I have learned from this course in terms of data management and access and fairness, because the concept of fairness was not clear for me when I applied for that, but it's really very good. I hope in future I will be working on big data.
Different sciences will be integrated into a big data center, and obviously my role here was to apprehend and to learn as much as I could, and to use it for future work.
We learned mainly about how to organize our metadata. We learned about some, let's say, ontology, vocabulary, and everything. Because, there are many people who have data all around them. Everyone tries to organize the data in a certain way. But in order to be able to exchange between different databases and so on, it's very useful to have some platforms to communicate. So things like ontology makes it possible for data to be interoperable, data or metadata to be interoperable between different systems. I work with a lot of different data sets, but usually I don't share them. But recently, when we were applying for a project, we got the feedback that we need to make a data management plan. So I think that these concepts from this summer school are very important, that I will be able to write a proper management plan. So I definitely know it is very useful.
The summer school is becoming a stable edition in Lecce, so we will assure for the next 4 years a new edition. We are working to enlarge our audience also to the research infrastructure that are not included in the project. We are thanks also to the good answer that we have from the students.
We're going to have a third one, fourth one, make it sustainable.
Okay. It's a bit long, but very effective to understand which is the purpose of the school. Okay, here just one slide to show you the virtual venue of the school, that is Lecce, that is in the southeast of Italy, as you can see here in the map, just in the hill of the boat in the Salento Peninsula. And in these two pictures, you can also see two of the main best arts in the city, the main cathedral with the bell tower and the Romanian amphitheater, that are both in the historical center of Lecce. Lecce is also home of the University of Salento, and as you already seen also in the video, this is Studium 2000, Studium 2000. That should have been the venue of our winter school. But Lecce is not known only for arts, but also for its traditional dishes. Here you can see a very small list of traditional dishes here in Lecce. I will try to spell correctly the name, because I'm here in Lecce since 15 years, but I'm not from here. Purpo alla vignata, very good. Sagne incannulate, cicere fria, pittule, frise, and rustico. So just to let you know which are the main traditional dishes. And then a very small gift for you. For who you is glutton, the pasticciotto recipe. That this is a very, very, very good sweet from Lecce. It's not a trivial task because it's very difficult to do it. But if you want, we are opening a challenge, the ENVRI Chef Challenge. I've used a very famous logo. Many of you already know it. So we can organize a challenge of pasticciotto. If you want to participate, it will be obviously mainly based on a presentation test because we can't test it due to the physical distance. And if you want to participate, you can send an email with your request for participation. You obviously have to prepare the pasticciotto and take evidence of it. So take pictures, videos, everything that you want, and then send by mail the material. So we will form a jury that will declare the winner of the ENVRI Chef for the best pasticciotto, and the winner obviously will win a special gift. We will tell you after which will be the gift. Okay, so here we hope that you liked and enjoyed the school gadget, and we are very, very sorry for two of you that received it completely broken, but you know that it was a very critical period for careers. Here, a very beautiful picture of that we received from one of you as a Thanksgiving, so thanks. For the key, Professor Bassett already gave his description, a very beautiful description. Okay, so let's go to the serious part now. Here we have the overall agenda of the school that is organized over a 2-week period. On average, we will dedicate about 40 hours in total, including also the preparation. It will be structured in 2 weeks. So in the first week, today we have the welcome session, introductory session. Then we will have 2 days of lectures, one about semantic by AJ that is here with us. I don't know if Jose also joined us. And then on Wednesday we will have 4 people from ICOS that will deal about virtual research environments, data analysis and visualization. Then we will have also a day from 9 to 12 of unsupervised session for assignments where students can work together. We will present you after which are the tools to do it. For assignment. And then the second week is almost the same, with the difference that the lecture will be on Monday and Tuesday. Then we will have a stop day on Wednesday. On Thursday, we will have the unsupervised session for assignment. And then in the final day, that is Friday, January 22nd, we will have presentations from you, from participants, and then the closing sessions in which we will close the school. Before giving the floor to Jaco and Maggie that will give you, will present you the ENVRI project and all activities related to the work package 6 that is organizing this winter school, I have a few housekeepings to let you know. All lectures will be recording. Also here, also today we are recording. So if you have any kind of problem against this, please send out an email. You will find all materials, so reading, slides, recording, etc. on our ENVRI community training platform. Here you can see the link of the specific course that is about the ENVRI school. I will put it also in the chat later. The course will be accessible by logging into the platform because during the course it will be restricted only to participants, but we will open it after the course. After that, also teachers will give us the presentation and the permission to share also the slide. Which are your credentials? You have to use as a username the email that you used during the registration, and then the password. I will put it in the chat for security reason, but please obviously change it after your first login. And then at the end of the school, so in the final day on Friday, we will ask you also to give us a feedback that is very, very important for us in order to improve the quality and relevance of our future trainings, to understand what is working and what we can improve and so on. And some very, very simple rules of participation. Since we are looking forward to your active participation in the winter school, we would like to recreate as much as possible the school atmosphere. So if you can, please turn your camera on so that we can see each other, we can know better, we can maximize the collaboration and networking. Put your microphone on mute while not speaking, but I see that it's already the rule. Thank you. You can use the chat when you have questions or comments, and we will read it throughout the lectures. But obviously, you can also intervene by voice when asked. Okay, so for this first introduction, it's all. Now I'm asking to Jaakko. Jaakko, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, Lucia. Thanks, Alberto. Thanks, Nicola, for having me to explain a little bit about the context of where you have arrived today as a student in a summer school in an organization which some of you will very well understand, but probably some of you will have some difficulty understanding all the abbreviations and projects that are going on around this. So I tried to give a little bit of context where you are now and why we organize this and where this summer school is organized. This winter school, I should say, is organized. I keep saying it's summer school because that was the original idea, of course. Next slide, please. I hope it's big enough on your screen, this map, this image. I'd like to start here first with some context, just for clarity. First of all, I'd like to say a research infrastructure, research infrastructures that are organizing this winter school, a research infrastructure is not an organization that is doing research. It's an organization or project or facility that allows researchers, scientists, but also researchers from non-scientific organizations to do better research. And that can be basically done in, I would say, two ways. First of all, infrastructures are offering opportunities to go there with your own experiment and do your experiment in a controlled environment, for instance, which is usually very expensive, and you can never organize this by yourself on your own university, for instance. The second main task of a research infrastructure is offering large sets of data, and that's what you heard a lot about already, large sets of data that researchers can use, and they would never have been able to collect those data by themselves on their own. So research infrastructures are set up sometimes on a national funding basis, funded by governments, in this case also on a European basis, where different countries put money together to build an even bigger facility for you to be able to do better research. Not only in your own field of research, but also by combining data sets from different fields of research. In this picture, you see basically what environmental research infrastructures are about. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner, you see the ocean, where there are these buoys and floats floating around. There are 10,000 of these floats floating in the ocean, measuring constantly every day temperature of the ocean, salinity levels, other chemical components, etc. This data from across the globe is being put in the data center for you to use. These floats are expensive, 15,000 euros each, I understood, and need to be renewed from time to time. So it's an expensive operation to have 10,000 of these things floating around all the time. You will never be able to do that on your own as a researcher. So that's why a research infrastructure is there to help you collecting this data. in the bottom left-hand corner, you see the solid Earth. You see a seismometer measuring seismic activity in the geological plates of the Earth, volcanology, earthquakes, tectonic plate movement, etc. All those kinds of big activities of the planet Earth are measured, and this data can be offered to you. The top left-hand corner, that is, I think, about life on Earth. That is where you see on the far left a controlled environment where you can go with your experiments to grow certain plants or whatever in an area where you can completely control the environment in which the plant grows. So not in the open air, but so you can go there and have access to this facility, which is quite expensive. Also, there you look at a long-term ecological research sites in forests in Europe, where they constantly measure on a long-term basis what is happening with the ecological structure, with the species that are growing there, bigger, smaller, more, less, etc. And finally, I would say in the top right-hand corner is the atmospheric research, where planes with equipment are constantly measuring on commercial flights, for instance, sorry, the composition of the air, CO2 measurements, and other greenhouse gases are constantly measured to investigate climate change. If you can go to the next slide, please. Yes, thank you. So here's the same picture again, where basically you see the four subdomains as we define them are shown, and in the bottom, very small, I hope you can read them. If not, we can send you a list or anything, is an enormous list of these research infrastructures that are all working on their own field of science to collect the data or to offer you the facilities. So there's many of these research infrastructures on atmospheric research, on marine research, on solid Earth research, and on ecosystems and biodiversity research. And all these organizations, some are very mature, some are already acting as an operational organization, some are still developing, are acting as kind of projects from different individual research institutes that are operating together and trying to set up a research infrastructure like that. But we all try to collaborate together in ENVRI, the environmental research infrastructures, to be able to share data better together, not only among atmospheric scientists, but also, for instance, between ecological scientists and atmospheric scientists, or marine scientists and geologists, for instance. So ENVRI is a collaboration, a community of collaborating research infrastructures on the different fields of Earth science, with the ultimate goal, of course, to understand how planet Earth works more on a holistic basis rather than on your individual science. Next slide, please. Now, this community of research infrastructures, ENVRI, has been given already a few times project funding by the European Commission to actually better collaborate together. It requires a lot of technical development. It requires a lot of ICT development to be able to collaborate together and to be able to share data and to access each other's data. The latest project here is called ENVRI Fair, where the research infrastructures are trying to develop joint services, joint data services, offering the data or offering services on top of that data, workflow management, etc. But also offering these services to an even bigger community of data users, service users, which is the European Open Science Cloud. This is basically where all the sciences, not only the environmental sciences, all the sciences and scientists need to go to in the future to collect their data and to combine their data. And that is a big endeavor set up by the European Commission. And we are collaborating as research infrastructures to offer our part of it. Can you go to the next slide, please? So what is mainly this ENVRI FAIR project about? Well, data is acquired, data is then transmitted. Acquiring data sometimes goes in very remote circumstances, like you saw with these marine, these ocean floats. It's transmitted through satellites, whatever, etc., and then collected in data centers. And after that, the real work begins, because the data is there, the primary data is there, but then you need to make sure that the data is of good quality. Then you must make sure that the data is stored and findable. And finally, you must make sure that not only the data is accessible, but also you can do things with the data. You can actually analyze the data, visualize the data, etc. And that is to harmonize all those steps in the data cycle, in the data life cycle. That is what ENVRI FAIR is about, to harmonize it between those research infrastructures, making sure that data is findable, accessible, interoperable, reusable, and if possible, also now reproducible. The next slide, please. Here are a few overarching goals. You can read them yourself. I think the main big goal of ENVRI FAIR now is to develop the so-called ENVRI Hub. You can see that as a kind of portal offered by ENVRI, where all the research infrastructures will try to offer their data and their data services to a central hub on the internet, which researchers can use. And this ENVRI Hub will also be the main contribution of the research infrastructures to the European Open Science Cloud. It is, of course, in that sense, it's vital to understand how these processes work and to make sure that you are capable of using them, say, on an everyday basis. And for that, also, this summer school is, I think, very useful. And my final slide, please. Now, here you see an overall structure of the project ENVRI FAIR, in which these research infrastructures collaborate together. We have a communications work package, of course. We have a community strategy work package, where the research infrastructures try to come up with some kind of single message to any stakeholder in for us. So that could be the European Commission, that could be national governments, that could be the private sector as well. We want to talk with one voice to these organizations, to these stakeholders, to see what they need from us and what we can offer them. Common fair policies, that's already going more into the technical details. How are we sharing our data? What is exactly, how are we going to communicate our data with our data together? And then in work packages 5, 6, and 7, that's really where the technology comes to work, the ICT technology comes to work, and the training comes to work. And finally, there's the 4 work packages 8, 9, 10, and 11. Those are the 4 subdomain work packages, where the research infrastructures in different domains, in those different subdomains that I showed you in the beginning, are working together on use cases. These are the scientific questions that we have. Can we try to bring it together and bring the data together and see what happens now? So that is our practicing platform, so to say, with not only the ICT but also the real science coming to the stage. And that is basically, in short, what ENVRI is about, the environmental research infrastructures community, and the specific project funded only 4 years is about. So I hope you understood. You have a little bit of context now for the rest of the 2 weeks that are coming. If there are any questions, I don't know how much time we have, I'm happy to answer, or others of my colleagues.
Thank you very much, Jaakko.
Okay.
Okay, and now I will give the floor to Menki for the presentation of work package 6. Over to you,
Thank
Menki.
you. Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks to Jaakko for a very good overview. So I just wanted to say a few words about this work package 6 about training. So it's called training and capacity building, and this is, of course, our goal here and objective is to provide training to people that are coming from these ENVRIs, these research infrastructures, and the community as a whole, also some of our stakeholders, and stakeholders are the organizations and people who are wanting to use our data and services for their own purposes. So of course, we need to talk about and make sure we have a common understanding about the FAIR principles. So the principles that are behind this findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable concepts. And some related legal and policy requirements that go into sort of defining the playing field here that we're working in. But just knowing about the principles themselves and sort of basic statements about how to make data fair, that's not enough, of course. We really need to make sure that our technical infrastructures, that the way that our organizations are working to take care of the data, process the data, make it available, that's up to a high standard, and also that we simplify and really facilitate this exchange of data between different infrastructures, between different research groups, etc. So it's really very much our work package is about providing people with information and knowledge on the implementation in their own services and data management in each separate organization at a data center level. And that's why we have invited you guys who are participating now in the winter school. You are, or most of you are, working at data center level in different organizations, and we want to give you the opportunity to exchange your own information or knowledge, but also learn together and work together to pick up on concepts and technologies that are being developed now, which could be of great use to you. Yeah, and finally, of course, also once one has tried to implement something, then one also needs to assess whether it made any difference, especially in a positive direction. So how can you assess fairness? That's also part of our training job, but not something that we are covering in this winter school. Next slide, please. So in our work in work package 6, we went out and asked all the project members about what they felt that their level of knowledge was and what training needs they saw in the near future. So we had defined a set of a little bit more than 20 topics or potential topics of training, and you can see the names of all of these topics in the peacock feathers there, and they are all ranging from topics that are really about general FAIR principles, what they are, how it fits into research data management in general, and all of these things, GDPR and data sharing, and etc. But importantly, the main focus is on what we could call concepts and technologies for research data management. And here you can see that the topics of this school, so it's about cloud computing, it's about semantics, it's about visualization and say research environments for end users and all of these things. So those things are being picked up in the school today. But of course we are also looking at finding and defining training for many of these other topics as well. Next slide, please. So just a few words about our activities so far. So in the first year of the project in 2019, as I said, we went out and asked the research infrastructures what they needed, what they were interested in. We also looked at existing training resources because, of course, we don't want to duplicate the effort. And then we found that while there was quite a lot of training materials available already then on these basic things, like what are the FAIR principles, what is GDPR and things like that, there was very little available about technologies, really, and the implementation of technologies towards fairness in organizations. So that was, of course, good and bad, because it's good that there was a need, and that means that we can actually work now together in ENVRI towards creating these new training opportunities, etc., training materials, webinars, schools, self-study materials, etc. But it's also a little bit daunting in a way, because it means that we are entering a new field where not so many other peoples have gone before. But that it's challenge is a good thing, right? I mean, it gives you energy and enthusiasm to continue. So central to our activities, it's building up not only as Jaco mentioned, but that ENVRI is going to have a data or a service hub, but we also need to build up a training hub that is efficient. And we already previously in the ENVRI Plus project and together with Lifewatch, we had set up a first version of what we call a training platform. But there were things and components that we needed to develop further. And for instance, we've set up now and defined a new training resource catalog that is really at the state of the art in terms of the metadata model and interface, etc., that is available now. And we're also working on the third component here, which is to define a sustainable materials repository to make sure that the training materials that we ourselves in ENVRI are developing, that they continue to be available and useful or also in the years to come. So that's I think is going to be a very important addition to the whole landscape of European research training from the environmental point of view. So the final slide, please, Lucia. So amongst the training events we've had so far, it's mainly been concentrated on webinars and virtual events, and that's of course because of the COVID crisis. So we've had a bunch of webinars, and all of the materials from our webinars, virtual workshops, etc., are of course available via our common training platform. So if you are interested in viewing any of these videos and materials from the events we've had so far, please go ahead, and I really invite you to browse through this and make use of the materials. So we have had, for instance, we've looked at and with the high relevance to this school now is that we had in the summer last year, we had a bunch of seminars towards the winter school. And I think that's a very interesting set of lectures and presentations on, for instance, cloud computing and workflow engines and workflows, and also virtual research environments that you can look at and check out. We also have now, I'd like to highlight, we've had in the end of last year, we had a series of webinars on provenance and how to connect, what is provenance, how do you collect provenance information. And this is going to culminate this series in a workshop that we have in February, I think, where people who have concrete examples and questions from their own work, they can come and get help by experts. And that's just one type of events that we are organizing. It's not just lectures, a one-way communication from teachers or experts talking to an audience, but we would really like to have the audiences also feedback and participate actively. And I really hope that during this school you will not feel scared or intimidated, but the moment you have questions or you want to contribute with your input from your experiences and what you are doing out in your daily work, just take the opportunity to do so. I think this sharing and the common discussion of topics and things is extremely important for raising the level of competence throughout the whole ENVRI organization. So with that, I wish you all a really positive experience, a great learning experience, and just have fun.
Thank you very much, Maggie. Are there any questions? Otherwise, we can go on, because the next point, sorry, is the elevator pitch, as already anticipated you by email, only to learn you, to let us know better, and to know who you are, which is your background. So maximum 60 seconds to let you introduce yourself. I will go through the list. I can also stop sharing. Okay, so that we can see. After the elevator pitch, we can also turn on our cameras so that we can take a group picture if you want. Or we can do it also now, as you prefer. Okay, so AJ. Okay, I can start by me. I'm the first on the list because I'm okay, it's my go-to-meeting. So I'm Lucia Vaira. I'm dual postal officer of Lifewatch Service Center. And I'm here to to moderate this winter school. This is the first winter school here, so I not participated in the last editions. It's my first year is in Lifewatch, and I think that it's a very good job for me. So I'm happy until now, and so I will let you go on. AJ, if you want to introduce yourself. Thanks.
Okay, I'm AJ Science, Antonio Jose, but everybody just call me AJ. I'm the operations coordinator of Lifewatch, the ICT core of the ITs, the operations. What that means is I need to make sure that everything is working once it's developed. So there are plenty of elements that we need to take into account. And one of them is about the versioning and the way that semantic is working and how everything is connected in the best way and more efficient way. So my background is IT, and I've been working in IT and virtual research environment for many years. Thanks.
Thank you, Nicola. Even if you already presented before, but maybe, okay.
I'm Nicola Fiore. I'm the Service Center ICT Coordinator of Lifewatch Eric. So my background is in the computer science. I'm one of the coordinator and also teacher of the winter school. So we will know soon.
Thank you. I hope to pronounce good the name. If not, please tell me. Olaf.
So, my name is Olaf Till. Do you hear me at all? Can you hear me? Yes, okay. I'm in charge of the database and the interfaces to the database of an ICOS-related laboratory, which provides data for a part of the calibration chain, which leads to reliable values of atmospherical green gas measurements. It is actually only a part of this chain, but if we talk about reproducibility and checking of the correctness of data, it would be essential to also check if we computed our data correctly, and this is currently not possible from the outside. I'm not sure if we should change this. Maybe yes. There is no project underway in our lab to do this, but I would like to get ideas from this course if this is needed and if there are state-of-the-art techniques or suitable tools to achieve such a thing. Thanks.
Thank you, Olaf. Prof, I don't know if you want again to present, to introduce yourself. Bassett.
Just a second. My background, I'm the director of the Service Center of Lifewatch. As interim, my position is a position of full professor of ecology at the University of Salento. So my background is in population and community ecology, and then I was start learning e-biodiversity and ecosystem science basically more than 10 years ago, entering the Lifewatch community. Thank you.
Thank you. And then we have Juliana or Juliana. Stop. Maybe it's not. Juliana Strop.
We can. She's talking, but we cannot hear.
Now, can you hear?
Yes.
Yeah, now yes.
The microphone. Yeah. Hi, everybody. I am Juliana Strop. I am a tropical ecologist working as a Marie Curie Fellow at the National History Museum in Madrid. So in my project, I'm analyzing the history of species discovery and taxonomic reclassification and try to understand how it impacts our knowledge of biodiversity. That is, how changes of species names over time affects what we know about the species rarity, species dominance, and so on, for example. And for that, I'm compiling data from different sources. So I'm looking at database like data sources on the internet, like the Kew Gardens and so on, but also at historical text of species descriptions. And I'm trying to put all this data together. And for that, I hope the course can help me a bit to, think how to put all this data together to organize and also to make it fair. Let's call it like this. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much, Juliana. And then we have Maria Johnson.
Yes, hi, I'm Maria Johnson. I'm from ICOS Carbon Portal in Lund, working as an information specialist there. And I'm part of the work package 6, helping out organizing this course and a lot of other training. So looking forward working with you these 2 weeks. Thanks.
Thank you. And then Maggie, again.
Yes, thank you. So I actually have a background in experimental physics, but about 15 years ago, I decided to make a career change and move into physical geography and ecosystem science. As a result of that, since about 10 years, I've been working with ICOS as well, and now I work at the data center of ICOS, the Carbon Portal. And there I'm mainly engaged with research data management questions in general, trying to both improve the way that we are doing things in ICOS, but also then working in these international collaborations like ENVRI, the ENVRI projects, to learn more about what is going on and also share our experiences in ICOS with others. So my main interest is actually FAIR and persistent identifiers, but I'm also very interested in how to train and teach these types of topics to others. So I'm engaged in a project here at Lund University where we are teaching first year or early career scientists and graduate students in research data management. So I'm hoping to also learn things about pedagogics and how to best train people in this concept of the summer school. So it's going, or winter school, so it's going to be very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie. Then we have Maria Teresa.
Hello everyone, I'm Maria Teresamanca, and my background is I have a degree in computer science, and I have been working in Lifewatch for a few months, really. And I am the training and capacity building officer in the Lifewatch organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria Teresa. And then we have Jaakko.
Yeah, well, you heard a bit from me already, but not about me. I apologize, actually. I should have done that before I started my presentation. I'm Jacco Konijn. I work both for the Lifewatch organization in Amsterdam and the University of Amsterdam, and I'm involved in ENVRI in Work Package 6 for training. I will not be actively participating in the rest of the winter school, to be honest, but from the Work Package 6 perspective, I do my duties here, of course. And I hope you have a good winter school.
Thanks, Jacco. Monique?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Monique Bossi. I'm also part of the Lifewatch ERIC service center based in Lecce, but I don't have any, let's say, specific scientific background in the field. I'm part of the team as project manager of ENVRI. So I'm just trying to make sure that Lifewatch ERIC participation to the ENVRI is successful and compliant with the expectations. And I wish, of course, a very nice winter school.
Thank you, Monique. And then we have Elisa.
Sorry, it seems I can't turn on the camera because there's a limit.
Yeah, we use it only for the picture, maybe, so that we can have.
Okay, now I can. Hello, everybody. My name is Elisa. I am a PhD student at Bologna University. I mainly work with remote sensing data and time series. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you very much. Then we have Pablo.
Hi, good morning. I cannot switch on the camera. Now I can. My name is Pablo Otero, and I'm a researcher at the Spanish Institute of Oceanography. And although my field of experience is the ocean modeling, during the last years I have been involved in different tasks related to data management in our National Oceanographic Data Center, like, for example, the configuration of a metadata catalog or the preparation of data and metadata for submission to CDataNet and EMOPNet programs. And finally, thank you very much to Lifewatch and ENVRI for the opportunity of participating.
Thank you very much, Pablo. Laurian?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Laurian. I have a background in biology, and I'm now working at Flanders Marine Institute within the open science team of the data center. And the work we do there is mainly around fair data management and open data. And the main interests for me are open data and semantics here. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. And then we have Cedric. Cedric.
Hello, everybody. My name is Cedric Crew. I'm also an open science officer at the Flanders Marine Institute. I have a background as a bioinformatician, and my job at FLIS is to verify all the metadata of our data sets and publications in the data center. And I hope to learn more about semantic integration and cloud management of services the following 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. And then we have Zendong Hu.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Yes. My name is Zendong Wu. I'm a postdoc in ICO's Carbon Portal. Currently, I'm working with a trajectory model, FluxPath, which is used to calculate the footprint of a measurement tower. So my background is ecosystem modeling. It is model the vegetation dynamic and the climate change and also global carbon cycle. So I work a lot of climate data and model outputs. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And then we have Stephanie.
Hello, good morning from Finland. My background is in atmospheric science from the Institute of Atmospheric and Earth System Research in University of Helsinki. Currently, I'm the research and communications coordinator there, and we have, well, one of our stations, for example, has the longest time series of atmospheric aerosols in the world. So we have a lot of data, and I'm very interested in working with data portals, but I have no technical background. So this is why I'm here. And we're also doing a hackathon this year together with the ICOS head office and ENVRI is involved. So we will be offering Arctic data to see what kind of services the participants can come up with. So this is why I'm really looking forward to this week. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Camille?
Hello, so I'm Camille. I'm working in France in ICOS in the Atmospheric Thematic Center. I'm a researcher and I'm interested in the Python notebooks and, well, the other topics as well. But to be honest, I don't know anything about semantics. So I hope it's going to be, I'm sure it's going to be interesting and I hope it's going to be useful to me. Thanks.
Thank you. Then Nicola, Alessi.
Hi, I'm Nicola. I'm from Italy, from the University of Bologna, and I basically am a plant ecologist. So I work with plant community data, but I also worked with population and remotely sensed data. My interest is to understand how environmental affect the plant distribution, let's say at regional scale, and also in the past, and to understand how the future can affect the distribution of plants. Currently, I'm working with the Lifewatch Italy project, so we are trying to assemble a database of plant diversity data for the Italian country. Thank you.
Thank you. Then we have Ziming.
Hi, good morning. I'm Jimin Zhao. I'm from University of Amsterdam. I'm a teacher and a senior researcher there. My background is computer science. I'm the research on high-performance computing, cloud computing, software engineering. And specifically, recently, we also do a lot about this virtual research environment. Currently, I'm the technical manager of the Lifewatch Virtual Lab Innovation Center in Amsterdam. I'm also leading this development effort in the common supporting actions in ENVRI project. Yeah, I will give the last component of this winter school about cloud computing to you. Thanks.
Thank you, Ziming. And then we have Salvador.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Yes, I'm Salvador Fernandez. I work in the Flanders Marine Institute in Belgium, together with my colleagues that already talked, Lorian and Cedric. I work more in the geographical team. So we mainly develop products, data products that are normally maps, raster maps or vector, and we also publish them. So that's what I'm most interested in this workshop. What are the tools outside there to make data products available to everyone, and how to make them more reproducible. I'm also somehow interested a bit in semantics, and my background is in biology.
Thank you very much. And then we have Lorenzo Longobardi.
Hi everyone, I am Lorenzo Longobardi and I'm concluding my PhD in marine ecology in Stazione Zoologica Anton Dohrn in Naples. And I basically work with long-term data, long-term oceanographic data, especially planktonic data sets. And I work with this data from different parts of the world. So it's very interesting to know how to deal with this data and how to integrate this kind of information all together. Thanks.
Thank you. And then we have an acronym, IO. Who is it?
I think it's me, but I have yet to figure out how to change my my name. So
yes,
presentations. I am Diego Brambilla, and currently I am working as a research fellow at the Water Research Institute of the Italian Research Council. And my current occupation is focused on the on studying the bacterial communities in Lago Maggiore, which is a lake in the northern part of Italy, and we would like to know the potential of such bacteria to develop resistance towards antimicrobial compounds. We do this through processing data coming from the sequencing of environmental DNA that we sample from some aquatic environments. And I'm here because I would like to know, to be kept up to date to the current standards in data sharing. Also, I'm interested to know more about the FAIR principles. So I am grateful for this occasion, for this school you have provided us.
Okay, thank you. Just one tip, if you want to modify your name, you have to click with the left arrow on the mouse and then modify name or email. Then we have Elisabetta Volpe.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I am Elisabetta Volpe. I'm a junior researcher. I have a degree in medical and pharmaceutical biotechnology, and I completed my studies with a second-level master in data science. I am currently doing an internship at Gianni Benzi Foundation in Bari. My work has focused on fair data and health data, supporting the team in the development of data management plan of the F3 project. I also support research activities by collaborating on international projects, for example, a study focused on real-world data. And finally, I contribute to the creation of a database collecting the information on rare disease. Thank you.
Thank you. And then we have Laura.
I am Laura. I am from Italy, the University of Palermo. I have a background in environmental engineering, and I work actually with the remote sensing data. So thank you for this opportunity. I think and I hope this course will be very useful for me. Thanks.
Thank you. Diego Polidori is the next.
Good morning, everybody. I am Diego from Viterbo in the University of Tuscia, and I work in the debuff department. I have an ICT background, and my job is the maintenance of the database, management of database of the department, data collection, responsible of the web application, and also software, offline software for data collection and management, and also interfacing with a carbon portal. And I have great expectations in this course because I have no environmental background, and hope to learn more about cloud computing, data fairness, and so on. Thank you.
Thank you. Pierpaolo, you're the next.
Okay. Hi all, I am Pierpaolo Coluccello, and I work as an IT expert for Marine Science Institute in Venice. I am an electronic engineer, but I discovered soon after my master degree that I feel more at ease with computer networks than with electronic circuits. So better late than never. Okay, I'm actually involved in the Nucleus Research Infrastructure implementation with the task to support the modeling node, the Marine Science Institute, to join this infrastructure. And so I am in charge of deploying the required IT systems and services in order to store, aggregate, and classify the modeling results. And so This is why I am here now, because I would like to learn the most common and effective tools for data modeling, management, and manipulation. Thank you.
Thank you. And then we have Lynn.
Sorry. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lynn Hazen. I'm a research engineer at ICOS. I'm working at the Atmospheric Thematic Center. I'm responsible for the data processing of all the data coming from the atmospheric stations of the network. Be sure everything is processed correctly. So from all the instruments gathering greenhouse gases and meteorological data. I'm also responsible for providing this data to the Carbon Center. Carbon portal, sorry, near real-time data and all this data release we have for the moment once a year.
Thank you, Lina. Now we have Ingemar.
Hello, I'm Ingemar Häggström. You hear me? Yes. I'm working at IceCat, which is a set of ionospheric radars up in the northern Europe. Now we are building the new generation of radar, the IceCat 3D. So we are then expanding our user base also to other communities. IceCat 3D data will be very rich because the same data can be used by many different communities, and that's why I want to learn about more about this fairness. And so, okay, bye.
Thank you. Now we have Giulio Verazzo.
Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Giulio Verazzo, and I'm a computer engineer. I work at CNR in Bologna. I'm in charge of managing the National Antarctic Data Center, which is a system of systems made on a network of GeoNetwork catalogs, where we can gather data and metadata about Antarctic researches to improve the accessibility and shareability of it. I'm joining this winter school because I think it can be a good opportunity to know more about best practice of managing data and metadata in the general fair vision. Thank you.
Thank you, Giulio. And now we have Angelique.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Angelique Avamaki. My background is in physics, and I have been specialized in statistical seismology. So during my research years, I have worked with several types of data, and that's how I got interested into the issues of data management. So now I work at Lund University in Sweden with the ICOS Carbon portal, and I mainly help with the management of Work Package 5 in the ENVRI project. Thank you.
Thank you, Angelique. Then we have Andrea.
Hi, I am Andrea Piel. I'm female because many of you are Italian. I work at the Spanish Institute of Oceanography, like my colleague Pablo Otero. I work specifically in the project unit office, where we provide support to researchers on how to prepare proposals for European calls. And for that reason, and as we are an environmental research institution for oceanographic research, we provide information on how to prepare the proposals, and specifically my interest on this course is on the data management part of the proposals, which is a compulsory part in projects like Horizon Europe. I will do my best to understand the computer part because it's not my specialty. I'm a marine scientist in background. So hopefully I will understand better the whole management of the data behind. Many thanks.
Thank you. Then we have Jana.
Good morning, I'm Jana.
I studied biochemistry in Germany, and now I came to Napoli, to south of Italy, to make my PhD at the Stazione Zoologica Anton Dohrn. And I'm basically working on ocean acidification. And there I collect seawater samples and sponge samples from ocean acidified vent systems from Ischia Island. And I basically have a huge amount of different kind of data, which is like microbiome data and chemical data, metabolomics and nutrients. So I don't know how to cope with all these correlations of so many huge data, bring it together, how to store it. And so I hope that this course will help me to finish my PhD properly and fair. Thank you.
Thank you. Then we have Barbara Magagna.
Hi, thank you very much. So I'm Italian, but I live in Austria. My background is landscape ecology and geography information system, but I'm working at the Environment Agency Austria as a semantic expert because the last 15 years I dedicated to vocabularies and semantics. I am part of the ELTER infrastructure, long-term ecosystem research of Europe, and I feel very much attached to ENVRI because I was part of the ENVRI team from the very beginning on in 2011. And I'm still working in ENVRI FAIR now in the work package 5 and 7 team. Have the responsibility to look at fairness evaluation of research infrastructures. And now I'm also a PhD student in my old age at the University of Twente, because I'm an ecologist, but I am very much interested to understand more about eco-informatics, how to combine semantic technologies with IT infrastructure. And my PhD is about observable properties, and to develop together with quite a huge group of scientists and semantic experts an interoperability framework for observable properties. And I'm here to learn more about the IT infrastructure, how this could support semantics. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Barbara. Then we have the third Diego. We have 3 Diego in this winter school. Diego Bermejo. Sorry for the Spanish. Horrible.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we hear you.
Good morning all. Well, my name is Diego Bermejo, with a J. I'm PhD in physics with a study of retrieval of temperature and atmospheric abundances profiles in the middle and upper Earth atmosphere derived from infrared spectra. After my PhD, I worked in private company in the field of solar resource assessment and forecast using satellite imagery and numerical weather prediction models. And now I currently work at the Andalusian Institute for Earth System Research in Granada, Spain. I'm member of the atmospheric physics group, and here we study physical properties of aerosol and clouds, for which we use a set of remote sensing instruments like LiDAR, ceilometer, radar, and microwave radiometer, which are all included in the ACTRIS infrastructure. My interest in this school is, to get skills in latest techniques on data management and analysis tools for its scientific exploitation of the data. And I'm especially focused on the near real-time processing and this new cloud computing and infrastructure services. Finally, I would like to thank you for letting me participate in this school. Thanks.
Thank you. Now we have Claudio Dema.
Good morning, I am Claudio Demo. I work at CNR in Potenza in the aerosol remote sensing unit in the Actris data center. So in ENVRI, I'm working in work package 5 and work package 8, atmospheric subdomain.
Thank you. And then we have Jan Mikale.
Hello, everyone. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yep. I'm from Czech Republic originally, but currently working at University of Bergen on EPOS project. I'm a seismologist by education. I finished my PhD, 7 years ago. But for the last 5 years, I'm working on EPOS project, EPOS infrastructure, the European Plate Observing System. Within that project, I'm coordinating the interactions between the, let's say, the integrated system and 9 different thematic core services, which means 9 different scientific domains within the EPOS project we are dealing with. I'm also helping with metadata collection within EPOS, and that's why I'm joining the ENVRI fair workshop, just to learn what tools are being used by other communities, what we can improve in our domain, and I mean within the solid earth science. And also because within other projects like Nordic EPOS, we are running within the Nordic countries. We are also responsible for other trainings like fairness and the data management plan. So having intersection from different projects on the same topic. So I'm happy. I'm not sure if I will be able to follow all the sessions because I have other duties, but I will try to follow as much as possible. So looking forward to see and hear from you.
Thank you. Then we have Piero Zanni.
Hi everyone, good morning. I am PhD student from University of Bologna. I've actually just submitted my thesis, which was in conservation biology, and I'm now waiting to defend it and looking for some postdoc positions. And I'm actually, my research interest is about biogeography and macroecology. So it involves typically searching, acquiring, and harmonizing data, sometimes even big data from lots of sources. And I'm also passionate with data visualization and open source softwares.
Thank you. And then we have Luis Montilla.
Hi everyone, I'm Luis Montilla. I'm also a PhD student from the Stazione Zoologica Anton Dorn. My background is in marine ecology. I'm currently studying microbial symbiosis in coastal marine ecosystems, and I'm looking forward to improve my knowledge about fair data and the best practices of sharing my research. Thank you.
Thank you. Then we have Jose Maria.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't have my webcam ready. Oh, you can see me now. Hello, I'm sorry I had to join late because I had some teaching duties before. But I'm Jose Maria Garcia. I'm from the University of Sevilla in Spain, and my background is basically on semantic technologies and also on the service computing part. So I will be giving you some insights about semantics. I hope that you'll learn something from what we are going to see tomorrow on the session. I'm happy to help on any questions that you may have on the semantic part of the winter school.
Thank you, Jose. And then the last one is Emanuela.
Hello, my name is Emanuela Panteri. My background is in computer science. I work in the Hellenic Center of Marine Research, And I worked for Lifewatch for many years since the beginning, and now for ENVRI Fair. We have several data that we want to verify, so that's why I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we have finished our presentation. Thank you all. We have only the two last slides. I have to share again my screen in order to show you which will be the tools that we will use during the school. Beyond GoToMeeting platform, we will use, I don't know if you already know it, Mentimeter. That is a web-based tool that is able to collect polls, the data, and opinions from participants. You can use simply a web browser, so you can use your personal computer. You can use also your smartphone. We can try it together so that you can see how it works. It's very simple to use. You have to go to www.menti.com, put the code found on the screen that I will show you in a second, and then simply answer the question. So we can go here and then present. Okay. So the code that you should use is this one, 5800511. We will use it during the lectures, just to separate the annoying part with some funny part. Okay, and now it will update with your answers as soon as they arrive. Greenland, Lecce. California, so that we can even imagine to travel. Salento, Pavia. Yellowstone. In this case, we see a word cloud, but this tool can be used also to see bars, graphics about answers, pie chart. It's very interactive and useful to understand how is the trend in answers. And we have 29 responses. Maybe we can go into the next one. And what is the place you would like to visit as soon as it will be possible? We hope very soon. Okay. And then a very important question. If you could have any superpower, what it would be? Now I'm very curious to see the answers. Yeah. Oh, cure COVID, wow. Breathe underwater. Reading people's mind. Understand women. Who is it? Make people happy. Patience is a superpower. Time travel, teleporting is very common. Teletransportation, sorting out Lego in a second. Be invisible. Ageless. Okay. And then we have, if you could pick up a new skill in an instant, what would it be? Understand code without having to read the manual. Okay. Computer science, cloud computing, fly. Okay. And then maybe it's the last funny question. What historical figure would you like to meet? Me too. Yes, I think that John Lennon can be considered historical. Shakespeare. Marilyn. Okay. And then we have a more serious question that is something that we already asked you during the registration part, because we would like to see if there will be any differences from today and the last day of the winter school. So you should rate your skills in cloud computing, workflows, tools to develop VREs, visualization and modeling, and data access tools. Hoping that this bell will improve. You can see also the average bar in the middle. Okay, So a good basic knowledge on visualization and modeling, and also on data access tools. The first 3 skills are less than 2. Okay. I will wait a bit more because this is important for the last day. We have 32 answers and we are 38. I'm not sure, 32. Okay. Maybe you finished. Okay. So this was only to show you also the tools and to play together just a bit. And then the final slide is here. I don't know if you already know Wonder. It's a browser-based tool, so no need to install nothing. It's based on browser. The only thing is that it doesn't work with Safari, so you have to use Chrome or Firefox. How it works, you are represented as an avatar, as you can see in this slide. We will try it in a second, and you can click dragging your mouse so that you can move around the room. And if you get close to somebody else, a circle will be formed, and then a video chat will be open so that you can chat in a small group and collaborate with the people that are inside the specific circle. In the bottom part of the page, you will have the common commands to interact, so the microphone, the webcam, and the possibility to share contents. And in the right part, there are also the other controls, so the chat, the settings, normal settings, and then this is for the broadcasting communication that is only by the host of the room. The chat can be three characteristics for everyone: a private chat, or for the specific circle in which you are. This is a limit that up to 15 people can join one circle. That's why we will use it for coffee break, for the breakout room that we will have after lectures. So we will keep this room open so that you can interact among you during this small part of the winter school. To prevent guests from entering the room, we set a password that is the same password that I have still to give you. Maybe it's better if I will send email since somebody leave the call. And then, okay, the chat can be you are obviously free to form your own little circle. So no limits to do it. We have simply divided the entire room in teachers, students, and the coffee break, only to let you see how it works. But you can form your own circles. And obviously, there are several frequently asked questions here in this link. I will then show you also this material. And here we have the room. I can put the link in the chat. Okay, and the password is winter, capital S, 21 star. In the meantime, I will also share with you the link of the course that is on the training platform. This is the link of the course. And then we have as username, email used during registration, and as password, the same that has to be changed. Please change it. Okay.